Okay, we'll get this started then. Thank you everyone for attending. Major Crime has called this press conference to update the public on the investigation and provide some further information relating to the found torso in the Lower Niagara River. First with introductions. To my left, I have Inspector Jim McCaffrey from Niagara Regional Police. Beside him, I have Staff Sergeant Jim Princeton from Niagara Regional Police Major Crime Unit. I then have from the Bureau of Criminal Investigations with the New York State Police, I have Stephen Negrelli, Lieutenant Edward Kennedy, and Investigator Christopher Weber. I'd like now to invite Inspector McCaffrey for the release.
Good afternoon. Thank you for attending. Again, my name is Inspector Jim McCaffrey of the Investigative Support Unit. Today I will be reading an updated statement, and again I will attempt to answer some questions that you might have. As stated earlier, I must reiterate this is an ongoing criminal investigation. I will attempt to answer your questions. We believe it's important to keep the community as informed as possible about this investigation. Briefly, to recover some information we already gave out, on Wednesday, August 29th at approximately 2:00 p.m., the remains of a female were recovered from the lower Niagara River, Niagara Falls, near the area of the Rainbow Bridge. The remains consisted of a torso without limbs and without a head. The body was sent to the Hamilton General Hospital for post-mortem examination. Preliminary post-mortem results indicated the deceased is a female Caucasian. We can further define the age group to be in the range of 31 to 55 years of age. Further testing is being conducted in an effort to narrow this down even further, the age range, as well to determine approximate height and weight parameters. Specific identifiers included a pierced navel ring without jewelry. We can add that this is an old piercing that has closed off. We can also advise that the deceased has had 2 cesarean sections and a tubal ligation procedure. Further identifiables will be released as they are available to us. Further testing continues at the Center for Forensic Science and the Chief Coroner's Office in Toronto to develop a DNA profile to assist in identifying the accused. Investigators assigned to the case have reviewed the missing person reports on file with police services across the country that have met the physical parameters of this incident. The vast majority of these cases have been eliminated from consideration. We have met with our American policing partners who continue to review missing person reports in their jurisdiction. We have and will continue to follow up on investigative leads that have been forwarded to our tip line. Based on our results to date, the Niagara Regional Police Service is again making an additional appeal to the public for any information that could identify the deceased or assist investigators in this case. Specifically, we ask that you contact female family members that you have not heard from recently. Contact co-workers who have not shown up to work to check on their welfare. Check on neighbors with unexplained absences. If you're not satisfied with the results you're getting, please contact the service for investigative follow-up. No tip is too small for us to follow up on. Someone in the community knows who this person is. As stated earlier, the identity of the individual is critical to this investigation. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Niagara Regional Police Service Major Crime Unit, 905-688-4111, extension 4200. Information can also be left on the Major Crime Tip Line at extension 4468 or at Crime Stoppers. So we are in fact appealing to the public to assist us wherever they can in this investigation. That's what I'm prepared to release at this time. Any further questions?
So have you ruled out the missing person files in Ontario? Is that why you've invited New York State investigators here?
From the beginning, Lauren, because of our location, we always have to take that into consideration, our American partners. We have been working with them since this investigation started. They're doing the same thing that we are on their side. They're reviewing all their cases as well, and they're prepared to perhaps answer any questions you may have today from them. But I just wanted to reiterate we are working together with both sides of the border.
Captain Negrelli, can you talk a little bit about what you're doing over in the U.S.?
Sure.
Can we get a correct spelling of your name and title.
Sure. First, thank you very much to our partners in Niagara Regional Police for inviting us today. We appreciate this, and working hand in hand with this outstanding law enforcement agency has really helped us go through this investigation, but also learn some of the great investigative techniques that they're using here in the region. My name is Stephen, S-T-E-V-E-N, Negrelli, N-I-G-R-E-L-L-I. I'm a captain with the New York State Police.
Can you talk a little more about what you're doing? Are you going through missing persons over here in the U.S.?
Since the discovery of the torso, Niagara Regional Police contacted the state police because there's a good possibility, we shared the riverbanks with them, with you, Canada, so there's a good possibility this person may have entered the water from the United States. We started a comprehensive examination of all known missing person reports that we have in the States, just like our partners in Canada have. And through the parameters that have been set, and since refined from the medical examiner's office, we keep excluding people who could be possible victims. This is an arduous task, and it's ongoing at this time.
Can you give us an idea of how many missing persons reports you guys are looking at?
We start with our scope is in Western New York. We're expanding it to New York State, and then as it goes on, we'll include other Great Lakes states, and then the region of Northeast United States. So right now, we are starting in Western New York, and keep expanding that scope. We want to zero it down as close as possible, and then expand. So at this point, we're still going through New York State, and then we'll start picking up the Great Lakes states also.
Inspector McCaffrey, can you guys say anything further about cause of death, the state of the body? I know you weren't willing to say a lot of it last week, but we need something to move it a little bit further.
That's one area of the investigation we're not prepared to get into at this time. We need the public's assistance now. We've reviewed all the cases we can. There's approximately 50 cases which met the parameter initially. Additional cases come in on a regular basis. We are reviewing them. We are still looking at tips, but based at this point in the investigation, we need the public to start reaching out to members they haven't heard from, of their families that come in.
Mr. McCaffrey, you mentioned 50 cases that you originally were looking into. Were they missing person cases in Ontario specifically?
That's across the country.
Across the country.
And you said initially, have you been able to, can you say how many of those have been ruled out, or are you still looking at the 50?
The vast majority of those have been ruled out. There are a couple we still need to clear, but we're satisfied the vast majority of them do not meet the parameters. And we have ruled them out. There's still a few to look at.
Can you say maybe, I mean, obviously in these investigations you seek out the advice of various experts. Can you say anything about what kind of person would be maybe behind this sort of case if it is a dismemberment case? Because maybe, you know, people might not know who's missing, but they might be able to look out for, you know, certain behavioral aspects to whoever's behind this. Can you speak to that at all?
That's well outside my realm of expertise. I'm not prepared to speak about that, unfortunately.
Can you speak about the tips that you've received? Not specifically what people have said, but how many?
There's been approximately 15 to 20 from over the weekend. There's still a few came in today. People are calling in suspicious items, suspicious behavior on the part of people they have seen in the community. Mostly that's what we're getting is suspicious items, suspicious persons, and we will follow each one of them up and we continue to do that.
Are those in the Niagara region or beyond Niagara? Or?
The vast majority are Niagara region. There have been some which have gone beyond that, but that's the vast majority.
Can we even, sorry, go ahead.
Mr. McCaffrey, I know on the weekend, Mr. Watson had indicated that the search around the river and the area has stopped until more information can come forward. Is that still the case now, or are you searching out any other areas?
As part of our investigative strategy, we are reviewing what we should be doing from this point on. We are not ruling that out. It's an option we still are considering.
Can we even confirm that this is a dismemberment case at this point? I know last week you guys wouldn't comment on whether it's possible, you know, if she was in the water for a certain amount of time, if, you know, she lost her limbs by virtue of the turmoil of the falls, or...
We are confirming this as a homicide, and we are prepared to say that it was a dismemberment. Thank you.
Thank Inspector. Okay, this will conclude the press conference. The panel will remain available for the next few minutes if you have any questions. Thank you.